Oh gosh. Alright everybody, welcome back to the All-American YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be showcasing the brand new 2nd gen Camaro. Still to be named. We don't know what exactly it's going to be named yet. We're not going to be putting this thing in it quite yet, actually. We've got something else for that in today's video. But just real quick, we're going to go over the newest addition to our very small assortment of like 3 cars. Yeah. Yeah, the old crap Arrow, the gray 3rd gen it's kind of shot. We're trying to sell that, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the area and you want 2nd or 3rd gen Camaro parts, go look on like the Appleton area Craigslist. It's posted there.
The frame and everything, that's all twisted and tore up.
Yeah, you probably don't want that unless you want a junk frame.
But I mean,
the body panels are good. That transmission's for sale, and the fiberglass cowl induction hood is for sale. So, anyways, I guess I don't know. I'll let you show around the car if you want.
go for it.
I don't know. This is the first time I've seen it. I've only been looking at this for a couple minutes here. Just a couple obvious issues with it. The windshield is cracked. No, it's not missing all the front stuff. That's the bumper and the hood and the fenders are over there. We just took it off so we can look at stuff a little bit better. But as far as the rust situation, which was a huge issue with the 3rd gen crap Arrow, this is miles and miles and miles better. That didn't make any sense.
It's almost.
It's really, really, really good. Although I must say it's not quite as good as mine.
It is years old.
It is, yes. This is a 1981 Berlinetta.
Did you say that?
Whatever the thing in there says.
It's only got one badge on it.
It says that's a little red thing, right? No, whatever.
The only rust hole is in the floor here.
Oh yeah, there is one rust spot in the floor, right there. You got a little teeny guy. You can see some of the ground down out there.
It's not bad at all, though. So
we're probably just gonna take some Flex Seal and spray that round and round, and we'll get that floor back that we destroyed.
Want to show them the trunk too?
Oh yeah. Well, the other nice thing that even I'm a little jealous about now is the actual trunk, and not the hatchback. I'm not a fan of the hatchback, but and there's some paint missing, but it's got some cool racing stripes.
Yeah, I know. We got all the trunk, the windows and stuff, and
Some extra body panels.
DD whoppers.
The gold to match the front end.
Hold up there.
And we need a cool name for this too. I'm assuming we can get a cool name for it because the whole car is black, but the nose is gold. So I don't know exactly what to come up with for that, but
Figure something out.
it looks cool with all the body panels on. It really does.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We also had a little surprise right there. Peter thought that was a nitrous solenoid the first time we looked at it.
First glance, I was just like, I saw blue, and I was just like, oh boy.
So really, the only thing that we're missing for this is good old Munchie 4-speed. We're gonna have to throw down in there. We're gonna have to do We're gonna have to do another automatic to manual swap, and we're gonna do it right this time and not use S10 pedals. We're gonna
use all the parts that they would for a stock car.
Yep. Which means we're gonna take out the brake pedal instead of cutting it in half, and just put in the whole new, like, get a manual brake pedal and a clutch pedal. The only thing that I don't think we're going to do is a manual steering column.
No.
And that's probably about it. We might have to cut a hole in your hood so that the tall air cleaner on that thing fits. And the extra plenum. Oh, one other side note. We actually have working lights in here. We had our last project. in the gap between taking the motor out. It's been a while. It's been about a month since we actually pulled that motor out. And Peter just got this like last weekend or something. So, anyways, in the gap between that, we ran some sketchy wiring and put lights and outlets in here, which is awesome. Alright, so the plan for today is to tear this apart, because the last time we had this running, it was running a little bit weird. It was making probably a grand total of 80 horsepower or something like that.
It wasn't going good.
We had...
It's my fault, because I pulled off the head, because there was a noise that I thought it was in the motor. It wasn't. It turned out it was that dealy whopper. It was a ticking noise, and I was like, what is that? And it was rhythmic, too. And it turns out it was just this thing tapping against like this. Ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding, ding.
On the back here where that bolt's on, it was rattling against the oil pan or the transmission or something.
The engine was so loud that you couldn't tell what it was. I thought it was in the motor, so I went and took a look, just to make sure we weren't doing more damage. And I pulled the head off, and I just put the old head gasket back on. And I assume that there's something wrong with the head gasket.
We checked compression in a couple of cylinders that we could check compression in with the spark plugs the way they are. And because you can't really get a compression tester gauge in here. But we checked a couple of the spark plugs. And the ones that we did check some of them had absolutely no compression. Even just with holding our thumb over the hole, there was nothing. Some of them had really low compression. I think what was the highest compression we saw? Like 40 or 50?
Well, that compression tester is garbage.
Yeah. They were all inconsistent. Like, I mean, they should all be within like 10 psi of each other, and we were ranging from... Some of them had decent, according to that compression tester is kind of jacked, but...
Yeah, it is definitely jacked.
It should at least be reading consistently. It should be consistently jacked, and we had compression all over the place. Some of them had zero compression, so we think that the head gasket is screwed on one or both of the heads. Probably that one, because that's the one that you took off, right?
Yeah.
All right, we only got the valve covers off, and we already found out what Peter screwed up.
Maybe.
So
it could be.
Here's what the valves are. Here's what the rock arms are supposed to be like. See that, how it moves? See, that one moves really nice. That one is being pushed open right now, so it's these are being pushed, so they're both tight. These ones are also pretty stinking tight. This one's nice, and this is how they should be when it's just seated. This one's being pushed, so it's tight. This one's almost a little bit too loose. And then we come to this side, where every single one of these is completely cranked down.
It's not all the way
tighter than it should be cranked down.
I was always told you do it until the thing stops moving, and then you do another half turn.
Yeah, or 6.
I didn't go 6.
Anyways, what the issue with this could be is if you crank down these too tight, it starts pushing the valve down in here. After it bottoms out the preload on the lifter, you can actually start pushing the valve down, which I might have done on my engine once. And then your valves don't seat all the way, and you lose compression.
So that very well could be another issue.
That might very well be our issue, because the engine ran really strong. Something happened when Peter put it back together, because the engine ran really strong when we had it out in the field, and then Peter decided to take it apart, and then it ran like crap after you put it back together, without my assistance.
You know why?
Why?
Thinking on that one yet. Anyways,
this could be our issue right here, and that would be awesome. But we're going to take a look at the head gasket anyways, because, probably it could stand to have a new head gasket on it. Yeah, we'll get the alternator off and the the right here off, and then we'll get on the heads.
And hopefully somebody doesn't break all my spark plugs again. Adam.
Well, we'll see about that.
All right, you guys. We already got the first one off. Figured that we record this one just because, in case the head gasket was gone for some reason. But
I don't think the head gasket will be gone. It might just not be
so. Intact properly.
You gonna crack me open here, bud?
Yeah, you got this.
You sure about that?
No. Do this left-handed since I'm holding the camera with the right. Your head Yeah. We're not going to be reusing the head gasket, so there you go. Don't drop it.
I'm making a mess.
Don't drop it, Graceful.
How come the other side didn't leak?
Well, because I had pulled the plug on the bottom of the other side. This side I didn't.
That was smart. Is it just water in here?
Yes.
Good. Yep, there it is.
All right, let's pull off these gaskets.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that that's... What was the cylinder that we tested that had zero compression? This one?
Yeah, it was this one was one of them.
This was the one that had no compression.
This one had none, and then one of these two.
When we tested one on that, we tested like this one and this one.
Yeah.
And this one had like 50, and that one had like none.
Yeah.
And we tested. Yeah. I think
you can see that there's definitely some exhaust going through there.
This one even has it a little bit too. That one might have been gone.
Yeah, this is the head that I pulled off. So
something didn't seal right, probably. I bet honestly that head gasket doesn't look bad. Well, it's probably shot now.
We're junking them anyways, because once we redo this thing,
you might be able to get away with even just throwing it back on and retorquing it the right way, and or just.
I mean, I torqued them the right way. It's just
something didn't happen quite right. So this side.
This side's pretty good.
There's a little bit of black in here.
It's not. That's not at all like what that was.
Well, here, take the light off of it once. It could be.
It's not that bad though. Not as bad as the other one.
How hard are these lifters going to be to take out? Really easy, dude.
I just don't want to pull them out.
Why not? Look at how easy it is to pull them out.
Just put them back. You're like, here, let's get some dirt on these. If you drop that on the floor.
Lifter looks good. Alright. So, there's a chunk that we forgot to film, or it got deleted or something, and I was going back and watching stuff, and there was a gap in one of the videos of taking, or like the teardown of Peter's small block here. And we wound up dropping the oil pan and looking at the crankshaft and looking at all the stuff, and we measured some stuff and looked at some other stuff to figure out what we're actually working with, trying to figure out if it had a 400 crank, if it didn't have a 400 crank, if it was a 383, if it was a 360 or whatever. And oh, that's annoying. Anyways, here's we got a data sheet for the engine. We got crank casting numbers, and block casting numbers, and a bunch of information. And it does have a 350 cast crank, and it's bored 60 thousandths over, which makes it a 360, about. And then we were also thinking about putting a 400 crank in it to make it a 383, because that would be pretty cool. But it would need some block machine work. You got to machine out. Well, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Upside down. We wrapped it up since then, because now it's a couple weeks later. It's also a lot colder out.
Yes, it is cold.
You can hear the wind wailing outside. But yeah, that's just the specs on this. It's a 360. It's got dome pistons, 3cc dome pistons, which is awesome for some super high compression ratios. And we'll be putting this sucker back together someday. We'll get this thing rolling. And yeah. That's all for this